Listen, I know finding a remote job can feel overwhelming, especially when you're just starting out. But here's something most people don't realize. There are actually dozens of remote positions that are constantly hiring beginners. And I'm not talking about those sketchy get-rich-quick opportunities that you see everywhere. These are legitimate, steady jobs that real companies are desperately trying to fill right now. In fact, I know people who landed these exact positions with zero experience and are now making really good money working from home. And today I'm going to show you 11 remote jobs that basically always have openings. Seriously. I check these job boards every single week and these positions never stop hiring. Plus, you don't need any fancy degrees or years of experience to get started. So if you're ready to finally land that remote job that you've been dreaming about, make sure you watch this entire video because I'm gonna break down exactly what these jobs are, how much they pay you, and most importantly, how you can actually get hired. So let's get started with number 1 on our list. And that is an employee service coordinator. Yep, sounds boring, sounds simple, and it is. But imagine being the behind the scenes maestro who keeps thousands of employees happy, productive, and well taken care of. Well, that's the employee service coordinator. And you can think of them as the corporate world's equivalent of an air traffic controller. But instead of planes, they're managing people's careers. Now let me break down exactly what they do. They manage employee data, they handle HR requests, and they maintain records and systems like Workday while ensuring confidentiality and accuracy. And speaking of compensation, let's talk about what you can expect to earn in this role. They make a pretty solid $49,000 to $70,000 per year. And that's not bad for entry level. Now let's look at what makes this role particularly attractive though. There are several key advantages to consider. First, you'll enjoy high job stability in the growing HR tech field. Plus, there's a clear career progression path to HR management, and you'll work regular business hours with a predictable workload. Now, of course, every job has its challenges. You should know that the role can be repetitive with data entry tasks, and it requires constant high attention to detail. Additionally, you must maintain strict confidentiality at all times. Now, as for the skills you'll need to succeed, there are 3 main areas to focus on. You'll want to develop proficiency in HR management systems, strong organizational and documentation abilities, and excellent written and verbal communication skills. Now here's why this role scores an impressive 8 out of 10 when it comes to the opportunity score. Entry-level candidates with basic HR knowledge and strong administrative skills can easily transition into this role, especially with the growing demand for HR tech expertise. And by the way, if you're wondering, Shane, this sounds great, but how do I actually get the job? Well, I actually have a completely free guide which teaches my system for exactly how you can get a remote job. And this is the same system that's helped hundreds of people get jobs, and it's completely free. All you got to do is click the link in the description and the pinned comment below to check it out. Now, moving on to our next remote opportunity, information request specialist. Let me introduce you to a fascinating role in healthcare that many people overlook. And by the way, there are like hundreds, if not thousands, of these random little healthcare related careers, and many of them can actually be done remotely. And of course, I like covering them on this channel. Picture being paid to be the person who always knows where to find the answers, like a professional detective for healthcare information. And that's basically what this role does. You're kind of like the digital bloodhound of the healthcare industry, tracking down vital patient data faster than you can say medical records. Now let me explain exactly what they do. These specialists handle and process information requests from healthcare providers, insurance companies, and patients while ensuring compliance with privacy regulations. And when it comes to compensation, here's what you can expect. About $40,000 to $57,000 a year. And again, not bad for an entry-level role that typically does not require a college degree or previous experience. It does require training, but most of the time the companies will provide that training. Now let's talk about what makes this role appealing. You'll enjoy stability in the healthcare industry, which is undoubtedly the most stable industry out there. Plus, you'll have clear processes and procedures to follow. And there's the rewarding aspect of helping patients and healthcare providers. And generally speaking, it's pretty low stress compared to direct patient care. So yeah, this is a really solid one. You know, these healthcare related careers, they're a great way to kind of get your foot in the door working remote, especially if you want to work in health down the line. They're not the best jobs in the world, right? They're not like jobs you're going to be super passionate about waking up to every day, most likely, but they pay the bills. There's a lot of them out there. It's relatively easy to get into them. They provide the training for you, and it's remote. I mean, what else can you ask for an entry-level job? I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7 out of 10 opportunity score. Now, by the way, if you're finding these opportunities helpful, gently tap that like button to help others discover them too. Next, let's talk about a buying coordinator. And this is going to take us into the exciting world of retail, because have you ever wondered who decides what products make it into the virtual shelves of your favorite online stores? Well, buying coordinators are basically the secret shoppers of the corporate world. world, except they're shopping with someone else's money and it's on a much bigger scale. Let me explain exactly what these professionals do. They support buying teams by managing purchase orders, tracking samples, and coordinating with vendors to ensure products arrive on time. Now let's talk about the earning potential in this role. They make about $56,000 to $81,000 per year. And what's particularly exciting is the fact that in many cases, you don't need any previous relevant experience or a college degree. Typically, they do hire people who have some work experience, but they don't really care what you've done in the past. And you can make pretty good money right off the bat. Plus, you're going to get direct exposure to retail and fashion industry experience with opportunities for creativity and trend analysis down the line. And there's a clear path to becoming a buyer, and you'll regularly interact with different brands as well as vendors. So yeah, this one's really good. I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10 opportunity score because I think there's a lot of opportunity for career growth down the line. And many companies are willing to train the right candidates who show strong organizational and analytical skills. And by the way, if you want to show companies that you do have strong organizational and analytical skills, there's lots of certificates and courses online that you can take that will not only give you the skills, but they'll also help you build up your portfolio. And I actually have a Google Sheet where I have organized my favorite online courses and certificates for all the different types of skill sets that I mentioned in these videos. And there's tailored recommendations depending on what career path you want to go into. So definitely check that sheet out. It's completely free. It'll be down in the description and the pinned comment below. Now let's explore a role that's becoming increasingly important in our digital workplace: the work office coordinator. This can sometimes also be referred to as the virtual office coordinator, and these are basically the people keeping the office running as smoothly as a Swiss watch while never having to leave their home. And work office coordinators are the digital age office managers who make sure everyone has what they need to succeed, even when they're miles apart. Now here's what these professionals do. They handle administrative tasks, coordinate team communications, and manage office operations in a virtual environment. And they make about $40,000 to $55,000 a year. Not bad. Now, the advantages of this role are significant. You'll enjoy diverse responsibilities that keep work interesting, have opportunities to improve company operations, make a direct impact on company culture, and develop broad business skills. Now, for this one, it doesn't typically require a college degree. Usually it does require some previous experience, but they don't really care too much about what your experience is in. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 7.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Now let me introduce you to a role that brings order to digital chaos, and that is the technical documentation assistant. Imagine being paid to be like the Marie Kondo of digital files, bringing order to chaos and making information spark joy for everyone. Now, this is also known as a file clerk, technical documentation assistant, and several other names. But they're basically the unsung heroes who turn digital mayhem into beautifully organized systems that even your grandma can navigate. Now, let me break down what these professionals do. They organize, maintain, and manage digital files and documentation systems while ensuring proper categorization and accessibility. Now, let's talk about what you can earn in this role. About $37,000 to $54,000 a year. And this is an entry-level role that typically doesn't require previous experience or a college degree. So it's pretty easy to get into. Now, here's what makes this role particularly appealing. It's perfect for detail-oriented individuals. It has clear processes and procedures. It offers opportunities to improve company efficiency, and it provides a relatively low-stress environment. Of course, there are some challenges to consider. The work can become monotonous, it requires constant attention to detail, and it offers limited creative freedom. Next is going to be an email response representative. And this is the person who turns angry emoji-filled messages into happy customer reviews. That's right, you're basically a digital diplomat, turning potential customer service disasters into success stories one email at a time. And here's what these specialists do. They handle customer inquiries, resolve issues, and provide support through email and chat platforms while maintaining professional communication standards. And when it comes to compensation, you make about $46,000 to $70,000 per year. Now, the advantages are significant. You have time to craft thoughtful responses, you don't have to deal with phone calls, there's clear performance metrics, and there's opportunities for advancement. However, be aware of the challenges. The role can be emotionally draining. It does involve a high volume of messages, and it requires maintaining a consistent tone. And to succeed, you'll need 4 key skills: excellent written communication, strong problem-solving abilities, emotional intelligence, and time management expertise. So yeah, this one's very easy to get into, lots of roles out there. I'm gonna give this one a solid 8 out of 10 opportunity score. Now, by the way, if you know somebody who's looking for remote work, share this video with them to help them start their journey. And also comment down below if somebody else sent you this video. All right, so let's explore the next exciting opportunity: becoming a digital asset organizer. Picture being the curator of a digital museum where every image, video, and file tells a story and has its perfect place. As a digital asset organizer, you're like the librarian for the Instagram age, making sure that every company's visual content is perfectly cataloged and ready for its spotlight moment. Now let me explain what these professionals do. They manage, organize, and maintain digital content libraries while ensuring proper naming conventions, categorization, and accessibility. Now let's talk about earnings. You make about $52,000 to $74,000 a year doing this. And you get to work in a creative environment with growing advancement opportunities. Plus you get to follow clear processes and guidelines, and you stay exposed to the latest digital trends. So yeah, there's a lot to like about this job. So basically you'll have some advantages here if you're familiar with something like the Adobe Creative Suite. So if you've done a little bit of editing and maybe you're into photography a little bit, that'll be an advantage for this one. And you basically just need an understanding of basic metadata and how to tag videos and photo assets. So yeah, this one's really good. It's also creative. There's not that many creative type jobs out there that pay this well, especially at the entry level. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Next is a software beta tester. And this is where you get paid to find flaws in apps and games before they hit the market, essentially being a professional problem finder. So this might be great for you if you're the type of person who's always correcting people or noticing errors, which is super annoying to most of the people around you, but could be pretty profitable for you. So software beta testers are kind of like digital detectives who get to break things on purpose and get rewarded for finding the bugs that drive everyone else crazy, while also driving everyone else crazy at the same time. So here's what these professionals do. They test new software applications, identify bugs, and provide detailed feedback to development teams to improve product quality. Now, typically, this is not something that requires technical expertise. In this particular case, you're literally just pretending like you're a user, and then you're just, doing random stuff on the app or the piece of software, and then you're just reporting whatever you find to the technical team. However, if you do have a little bit of technical expertise, that can be even better. And in this role, you make about $53,000 to $92,000 a year. So the advantages are huge here. You get access to new software, it's perfect for tech enthusiasts, and it offers varied and interesting work. Plus, it provides valuable industry experience that you can put on your resume and then get into way better jobs down the line. So I love jobs like this where you're able to sort of get your foot in the door in industries where you can get into positions later on down the line that pay ridiculously well, even though you don't technically need any technical expertise to get into the position in the first place. Just getting your foot in the door and being around people who do have the expertise is enough. And also following my channel and following my recommendations for the courses and certificates that you should get. Link is in the description in the pinned comment below, check them out. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be a social media content scheduler. Now, if you've ever wondered who makes sure those perfectly timed social media posts go live while everyone else is sleeping, well, it's this person. Now, this position might also be known as a social media assistant planner, and they're basically the time-bending wizards who keep brands' social presence running like clockwork, even during off hours. So basically, they'll schedule posts, weeks, sometimes even months in advance, making sure that the company is constantly putting out evergreen content. And when breaking news happens, they'll also schedule posts then. Plus, they might do it across several different platforms, all while ensuring brand consistency and optimal posting times. So let's talk about earning potential. In this role, you'll make about $37,000 to $59,000 a year. So it is on the lower side. However, there's lots of opportunity to grow in this role and get into other jobs that make even more money down the line. Plus, you get to work in a creative environment, you get to learn the latest social media trends, you have clear performance metrics, and there's great growth potential in digital marketing in general, whether you want to get into a different job or start your own business or become a freelancer, etc., etc. However, there are challenges to consider. You'll need to stay current with platform changes. You'll need to manage deadline intensive work and handle weekend/holiday content planning. And the key skills you'll need are proficiency in scheduling tools, an understanding of social media algorithms, content calendar management, and basic design skills. And this position scores a strong 9 out of 10 for opportunity because of the ever-growing importance of social media makes this role highly accessible for beginners with strong organizational skills and social media knowledge. And by the way, if your dream is to be a YouTuber because it's actually the most popular career path for young people, literally did a survey on it and it was #1. I also have some completely free training and some amazing resources that show my system for exactly how I was able to start this YouTube channel, which I'll put down in the description and in the pinned comment below. So definitely check it out. Next is a virtual recruiting coordinator. And imagine yourself being the matchmaker between talented professionals and their dream jobs, all from your home office. And this is kind of like a dating app manager for the corporate world, except they're matching candidates with careers instead of coffee dates. Now, here's what these specialists do. They coordinate the hiring process, schedule interviews, and manage candidate communications while ensuring a smooth recruiting experience. And in this role, you make about $50,000 to $71,000 a year. So this one is a bit easier to get into than, like a normal recruiter position because you're basically just coordinating things. So you're basically just following clear processes and procedures here, but you are able to learn about different industries, network with a bunch of people, and it can open doors for a lot of opportunities. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this role an 8 out of 10. I think there's tons of opportunity in anything that involves recruiting. So yeah, really like this one. All right, next one is a data collector, and this is for those spreadsheet geeks out there. Imagine being paid to be a digital treasure hunter, finding and organizing valuable information that companies desperately need. Data collectors are like modern day gold miners, except instead of panning for precious metals, they're gathering precious information that drives business decisions. And here's what these professionals do. They gather, verify, and organize data from various sources while ensuring accuracy and completeness of the information. Now let's talk about the salary. This is a totally entry-level position. You make about $38,000 to $58,000 a year. So it is on the lower side. However, this is another one of those positions where you can get data-related experience, right? And there are so many super high-paying data-related jobs out there. So just getting that experience in data will help you land a data analysis job. And then after you get a bunch of experience in data analysis, you can land like a data engineer job. And then all of a sudden you're making multiple 6 figures per year. So yeah, I really like this one just because there's huge opportunity for career path advancement. It probably will get quite boring for you after a little bit of time. Then you definitely want to get some certificates online, like the Google Data Analytics certificate, for instance. That'll be linked in the description in the pinned comment below. But yeah, love this one. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. Next is going to be a quality assurance tester. And this is basically where you systematically test software applications and websites to identify bugs, usability issues, and performance problems. And in this position, you make about $46,000 to $73,000 a year. So you're basically doing everything that you can to make the software glitch or to break or to overload it, and you're seeing if it's able to hold up. And in many cases, you have to do it really quickly too. And for success, you typically follow a very systematic testing approach. You do have to have a basic technical understanding, but many people get hired without degrees or previous experience, typically people who have certificates and do online learning. But yeah, I really like this one a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10 opportunity score. And the next one is going to be in a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and that's going to be a real estate buyer sales specialist. And imagine helping people find their dream homes and earning 6 figures while working from your own dream home yourself. In this position, you are basically a personal matchmaker for home hunters and homes that they want to live in. And in this position, you can actually work remotely, and you're going to be guiding buyers through the home purchasing process. And this is from the initial search to the final closing. And these people make about $89,000 to $167,000 a year, and that's on the low side. There are people out there making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year doing this. So if you're somebody who has some experience in the real estate industry, this would be great for you. Or if you just, for some reason, you bought and sold a lot of houses, or if you're just familiar with a particular area, this could be really good for you as well. And yeah, the real estate industry, it's never really been an industry where you have to get a college degree or you have to have previous experience. Everyone kind of just goes into the real estate industry and it's kind of sink or swim, and you kind of just have to prove yourself. And this role is no different. So yeah, real estate industry, lots of opportunity for the right type of person. I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10 opportunity score. And if you haven't checked it out already, I did make a video that went absolutely viral. People loved it, and it's boring but realistic jobs you can do. And it's a lot of jobs like this, kind of similar. So if you want more jobs like this, check that out by clicking right here.